Okay, I want to discuss a topic that's been coming up a little bit in the comment sections of some of my other videos, and that is this idea that you can predict when you're going to be in danger and you can predict when you're going to need your weapon. Now, I don't know about the rest of you out there, but I don't have a sixth sense that tingles when I'm in danger and warns me to stay out of a certain place or to leave at a certain time. I just don't have that ability, so I have to accept the fact that I can't predict when I'm going to be in danger. Now, some people will use these examples to rationalize their decision to decide when they do need to and do not need to be prepared. They'll say, like, I'm not in as much danger dropping off my kid at daycare or going to my grandma's house or anything like that as I am, say, if I'm getting out money out of the ATM at 2 o'clock in the morning in a bad part of town, or if I'm in the ghetto late at night. Well, yeah, that's true. You are increasing your risk factors by doing things like getting money out of the ATM late at night or going to the ghetto. But the proper mindset for that kind of situation is, I'm not going to get money out of the ATM at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not going to be in the ghetto late at night. When you start thinking of yourself, your situational awareness and your preparedness in a way that you avoid danger, you don't just make yourself better ready to deal with it. You don't accept added risk just because you somehow feel more powerful because you're carrying. You don't do anything carrying that you wouldn't do if you weren't carrying. So there's one flaw with that process right off the bat. But the main flaw with that is the idea that you can always predict when danger's coming. You can predict which situations will be more dangerous, but you can never predict for sure when danger's going to come. For example, those people that when that guy broke into the gym not too long ago and shot 4 or 5 people in the gymnasium. People at that political rally that got shot with security everywhere, political figures there. Do you think they thought they were going to need their gun there? People that are shot on college campuses. Do you think they thought that day when they were getting ready to go to algebra that they were going to have to defend their lives that morning? No, they didn't. They were dealing with an unpredictable situation. Now, the difference is between some people is some people will be prepared for that unpredictable situation and some people won't. So one of the things that I have heard a lot in my life, and I'm sure a lot of police officers out there can back me up, is when you see people that are the victims of random crime, truly random crime, not what some people like to portray as random crime, a lot of the things you hear from them is, I never thought this would happen to me here. I've come to this store 1,000 times, nothing ever happened. I've walked down this street 100 times, nothing's ever happened. I go to my grandmother's house all the time. It's a safe neighborhood. I couldn't expect this to happen to me. It's always when you're least expecting it that things like that happen, because criminals prey on the unsuspecting. They want to catch you in an area where you feel safe and secure. Now, if you come to them in their territory, that's your fault. You put yourself in that situation. But don't fool yourself into thinking that they're not going to come looking for you. They're predators. They come looking for a situation where they can have the upper hand. So, because a lot of times they figure if you're coming to their situation, you might be prepared to deal with them. So they might be a little more cautious there even. So like I'm saying, the whole mindset that you're going to predict when danger is more and put yourself in it, that's just wrong. You avoid danger first. You deal with danger second. So make sure you're in that right mindset, like I said, that you don't ever do anything armed that you wouldn't do unarmed. Once you get the right mindset down, you have to accept the fact that you can't form an equation to say when you're going to be safe. You cannot sit down and mathematically figure out, okay, yeah, today I'm totally safe. Because there's always that human variable in there. So as long as you can't come to a conclusion, you can't say with certainty, I'm safe today. So then you have to make a decision. I'm never 100% safe. We live in a very safe society, and people are usually 99% safe, just to throw a number out there. So I can understand when people don't want to carry a gun, don't want to be prepared at all, because they're willing to accept the fact that the chances of them being in a bad situation is pretty slim. And their chances of not surviving that bad situation, if they do get into it, is even slimmer. So I can understand that, and I can accept that, as long as they accept that as their decision. They have accepted the fact that if they are a victim of something, the unlikely chance that they're a victim, they are willing to accept that. And that's what you're saying when you don't want to be prepared. I'm willing to accept being a victim. I'm willing to accept not being able to defend myself at this given time. So when you try to sit down and you try to do that math that you can't do because there's a variable there, what you're really saying is, I'm willing to be a victim. So if you're willing to be a victim, that's great. But if you're not, then understand the fact that you can never predict when something bad is going to happen. You just can't. Be prepared at all times and accept it if it comes, and be glad if it doesn't. And if you choose to do otherwise, that's fine, but don't try to justify it or rationalize it or present it in a way that makes it seem like a good thing to do, because it's not. It's not the tactical, proper mindset to be in for when you want, if you want to be prepared. It's an acceptable thing for you to do as an individual, but don't try to push it on other people. Don't try to rationalize it. Don't try to say that you can sit down and you can quantify when danger is going to happen, because it's just not. So in the end, Just accept the responsibility for your own decisions. Don't try to justify it. Keep your mindset right and accept that you can't predict when danger is going to come.